And now, here's your host, John Lovett.
Podcast superhero John Lovett, live in Iowa City just before Democrats make their choice.
I hope you people know what you're doing.
The Love It or Leave It show offering up some badly needed laughs.
And Bernie and Biden are trading frontrunner status in every major poll this past week. They are neck and neck, which is a little gross because both of their necks are pretty loose at this point.
Jokes aside, Democrats are anxious, torn over the right choice to take on Donald Trump.
Honestly, it's terrifying. I'm terrified. I hope that everyone that is sitting at home right now not following it will wake up and follow it and realize what's going on and kind of not just be complacent.
How do you feel about the election this year?
Somewhat, hopefully optimistic-ish, I would
Not
say.
very convincing.
Well, I know, it's tough. We're worried.
Iowa's the first test for a presidential run, and Bernie Sanders is surging. But there's a tight cluster of candidates jostling him at the top. Sanders has built a formidable ground team since he ran in 2016, and this is one last rallying cry to get out supporters on Monday.
First up on the agenda is to defeat the most dangerous president in the modern history of this country.
In Iowa City, his campaign office nestles next to the Salvation Army, fitting for the socialist senator with promises to overhaul social programs. This is the final weekend, and Jay McClure from Washington State and Justin Goldberg from Chicago are heading out for last day canvassing in Jay's Bernie van.
How's your button supply, by the way?
My button supply is low. You're the button guy. I've got hundreds of stickers. My buttons are low.
When they finally express that commitment to caucus, that's when I pull out the button and ask them to wear this to caucus so that we can find them easily.
They got A, B, C.
Loyalty means nothing if you can't get Iowans out to caucus on Monday.
You mind if I greet them, Jay?
No, you go for it.
Bernie volunteers have knocked on 500,000 doors in January. Here's one more.
Hi.
Hi there, how are you this morning?
Oh, Bernie guys.
That's right. If you have any friends or family who are on the fence or they don't think they can participate, bring them along and make sure to get them signed up. If they don't want to be a Democrat on Tuesday, they don't have to be a Democrat on Tuesday, just on Monday night.
Iowa is all about momentum.
All right, we found a burner.
And Bernie's bold ideas are shaking things up.
Education for all, internet for all, Green New Deal, trying to address problems today, finally.
Joe Biden's got the most to lose here in Iowa. Long seen as the front runner, he's facing headwinds. His campaign, dubbed You Know Joe, is peddling experience, a safe, comforting choice for Democrats craving stability in chaotic times. When John Lundell became mayor of Coralville, Iowa, Joe Biden called him to congratulate. Next, he got a visit to the White House.
We spent 45 minutes chatting with the vice president about everything from sports to politics. So it was a wonderful opportunity, and that began my friendship with Joe Biden.
And what was your takeaway from Joe Biden then?
He was just such a sincere, gentle man, just like you and I. He didn't have any hidden agendas or anything, and I think that Biden, because he is more traditionalist, has the skills and opportunity to maybe heal the country a little faster.
There is a sense that some people are now worried that Bernie Sanders might win. Do you get that sense?
Yes, I think there is a concern. Well, I go back to electability, and I don't think this country is ready for a socialist, and it really worries me that you're giving President Trump a heads up by going with a candidate such as Bernie.
I'm supporting Senator Elizabeth Warren, and I'm hoping you'll do the same.
Elizabeth Warren's team has been working Iowa for 10 months.
Do you know who you're going to support?
Yeah, Warren.
You are super, great.
She surged last fall, then slipped from the top, but arguably has one of the most organized campaigns nationally. The woman with a plan for everything, her slogan, has a path to win, maybe not in Iowa, but in later states, says organizer Rod Sullivan.
I honestly believe that Warren is kind of the consensus choice among the 4 or 5 people that are polling the best. And when you start to think about who people would settle for, if you will. Biden people are not going to go with Bernie, and Bernie people are not going to go with Biden. I think Warren is very much a consensus candidate, and I think she has a chance to end up on top.
Back at the live show, Pete is pulling support. That's Pete Buttigieg, the other candidate at the top. Mary Rarick came from Oregon to canvass for him.
I'm organizing for the state of Oregon, but Oregon doesn't even matter if we don't do well here, right?
Please welcome Michael Moore.
Michael Moore, the filmmaker, showing up, and he's a Bernie guy, but he's got a stern reminder for this crowd. Fight it out now for a nominee, but remember the long game.
We're all going to go in there in November, not just ourselves, not with our little gloomy faces, oh, my candidate didn't win. Oh. We're all going to go in there, and we're going to fucking take that thing and mark it for the D. Mark it for the D.
Susan Ormiston, CBC News, Iowa City, Iowa.